Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews. Got a beer here from the Evergreen Brewing Company from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Doing some great things. The last two beers I've had from Evergreen have been fan-freaking tasticulousness. So let's check it out. This one is Surf Breaker, and it's been downstairs for a day now, so it's actually pretty cold down here. So it's a little bit cooler than I'd like it, but we're gonna have to go with what we can go on. But this is Surf Breaker West Coast style IPA. What did I take? No, it was this morning. I set it down here. So well, it's still been down here for about 12 hours now. So it's pretty cold. 7% alcohol by volume. So there we go. It's an IPA, and it's a West Coast style IPA. And if you can see how cold it is, I don't know if you can see my breath, but it's cold down here. But it's at the same time, I still find it very comfortable and cozy. I don't get cold easy, so I mean maybe that's why. Here we go. We'll throw it over there for label. It's got a very funky octopus look to it. So let's pop that right about here. Yeah, it's got a very artistic octopus, a cephalopod kind of a deal going on, artistically going on, right there. So it's hard to see, but there we go. And let me just double check I got the right brewery. Yep, Evergreen Brewing Company, because that would be embarrassing. So here we go. Up to the light, nice hot pace, as to be expected with a beautiful West Coast IPA. I've never had a really good West Coast IPA that hasn't had a nice hot pace. So right there, check mark one. And a beautiful orange honey hue to the beer. Nice little ring of a white head. Little alcohol like sticking from that 7% alcohol by volume. Not a lot of lacing right now. A little bit of lacing, a little bit. Okay, so let's get an aroma. Cheers. Listen to some Carnivore Retaliation, 1987. Subtle hints of pine and grapefruit, but they're subtle. They're in there, they're subtle. So let's get into it. Cheers. I don't know when the last time really was when I had a beer that was this cold. I mean, it's what humans drink, like cold. Not a fan. I am not a fan of this. This is like normal human cold, brewery cold, and I'm not a big fan of that. There's a soft twinge of grapefruit. There's a soft twinge of something that reminds me of a slight bit of an orange rind. Very soft pith orange rind, very just a rind. Subtle nuances of pine. Soft hint of a breadiness and a little bit of something that reminds me of a faint caramel way in the back, way in the back. It has an oiliness, which is nice, but a very thin body because of how cold it is. Not very thin. It's got a low medium body. Little Jimi Hendrix cover. Yeah. Manic Depression. Yeah. There you go. This beer is reminding me of a lot of beers I've had. This is our IPA. You know, you go to a brewery, you get a sample of it, and they're all coming out too cold. You know, like they do. They're like, okay, well, this is our IPA. This is our West Coast IPA, or whatever. And you drink it. I mean, it's just this. It tastes. I've had this beer. It feels like I've just had this beer 1,000 different times. If you know what I mean. This is that. You go to a brewery and then this is our West Coast IPA, or this is our IPA. You know, this is our traditional IPA. Nice burp, really nice burp. But it's kind of funny because it's so cold. It's just too cold. Like I can't do this whole cold thing, you know. But it tastes. I mean, it's very approachable, and everyone who likes IPA should like this beer because it's like every other IPA I've ever had at every brewery I've ever sampled beer at. You know what I mean? It's one of those not specific beers, not specific IPAs, but like West Coast IPAs or their traditional IPA. This is what it tastes like. It tastes like exactly that. It's just too nuanced for me. It's too thin for me. It's doing this like I like when you get a nice West Coast IPA where you can actually smell specific pine. Like I got blue spruce out of someone, and that one always just makes me just joyous. You know what I mean? Those kind of qualities. So you're not getting specific pine. It's very faint. I always like to get a rind of tangerine. A nice little sip of tangerine with the grapefruit. That nice West Coast IPAs. I'm not getting that right now. But I am getting nice things. You know, it's a nice, easy drinking 7% IPA. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of deals. It's not a palate wrecker. It's not attacking anything. It's very mellow. Burp's really nice. Again, a little zip of that pine in the back, which is nice. A little earthiness. A little bit of grapefruit kind of quality coming out. It does. It just seems very stereotypical. It seems very textbook. You know what I mean? Very solid. It's that kind of friend that everybody knows. You know what I mean? That kind of deal. It's one of those kind of things. Like it's very. I don't know how to describe it. It's just everyone knows it. You know what I mean? So that's good. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's very. It's one that you can give IPA lovers of every facet pretty much, and they'll be like, yes, this is an IPA, and I like it. You know, one of those kind of deals. It's very familiar. Yeah, it just seems like those old pair of boots that you put on that you won't get rid of because they fit you just right. It's one of those kind of deals. They're not the best boots, you know, they're not the highest grade boots, they're not this, that, you know, but they're the boots that you like the best because you put them on all the time. You know what I mean? That they fit your feet so you won't get rid of them. Even though you own better boots now. It's one of those kind of deals. It's tasting exactly like that, which is that might be a horrible analogy, and you might not know what I'm talking about, but you might exactly know what I'm talking about. There you go. I think right now, Peter the Clueless Drinker would probably made a comment about, you know, you have a drawer full of sex toys, but you always pick that one because it's the most familiar, you know. Because he does stuff like that, and that's funny, and I like him for that, because that's good. And even if he wouldn't, I made sure that I said he would. So now he has to do that in one of his videos. So that's fun. So, I have to give this a 7.5. I have to give it a solid grade. It's a solid beer. It's, you know, in textbook, boom, boom, boom. I would never, ever give this lower than 7.5. This is a good beer. This is a solid textbook beer that everyone can enjoy, everyone should try, and there you go. I feel like if this is still... I feel like I really didn't review it. I feel that I should go back to Bloom Brew in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania on Route 11 near the Giant Plaza where I picked this up, and get another one and drink it the way I review beers. You know, there's a reason why I review beers at a certain temperature. So I should go get this again and redo a review also. I'll keep this one. I'll post it. You know, I mean, it's not a bad review. It's not a bad beer. I'm not finding anything bad about it. But I want to see what this would be at my temperature. It'd be like, okay, well, okay, right, this and this. Okay, that's more kicked up. The body's less watery, but still that oiliness is there. Blah, blah, blah. Or maybe it'll be exactly the same. So that'll be a good test to see how much bullshit I talk every time I do a review about beers being too warm. Ha ha ha, there you go. So 7.5 out of 10 for the West Coast style IPA. I don't know. At the same time then too, should beer stay traditional to locality? Should West Coast IPAs, because you know, it's one of those hard questions, because should West Coast IPAs stick to the West Coast, be made on the West Coast because that's what they're good at, that's what they do, that's what they should do. You shouldn't make a West Coast IPA when you're on the East Coast, or vice versa. Should we exchange styles and anyone from anywhere make them? You know what I mean? Because right now in England, not New England, but England, they're doing great New England style IPAs. You know, the likes of Dea and Track and stuff like that. They're doing Cloudwater, and they're great examples of the style. I guess Grupp and Frau in Germany was doing some really good examples of the style too. So it's one of those things that, for when the style started getting introduced, let's use this as an example. When the style started getting introduced, other people were picking up on the style, but were making poor examples of the style. But now we've got to the point where people have perfected the style, so now other people from other places can make the same style with the same this. But at the same time, will it be the same? Will it really? Because you're terroir. You know, the whole point. You're not in New England making this beer. It's not gonna. It will never taste the same as a beer made somewhere else. You take the same style beer, you make it 3 different places in the world with local ingredients, they're not going to taste the same. That's the kind of thing. Now, I have a lot of homebrewer friends. I really do. And they're great people. They make great beer. They win awards and shit like that. You know, Josh Hoover over there in San Diego, and Grant Baker in New Zealand, S.J. Port down in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Win awards, do amazing things. I would like to maybe get a hold of them and see if they could put that to the test and just say, hey, in your spare time, please make me this beer with these ingredients from these places, local to you, local, and see if they can get local ingredients together and make the same style beer. I'll pay them if I have to. The same style beer with the same ingredients from your local sources, and I'll review them 1, 2, 3 and see if they actually taste different. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of weird things, because I don't know. Back in the day, terroir was very, very important. It was extremely important. But now with brewing, unless you're a hop farm or like a farm-based brewery, most breweries get their shit shipped in from the same company. You know, they're all Breeze. Breeze gets shit from Breeze. Breeze is Breeze. You know what I mean? So if they're all using Breeze malts, it doesn't matter where they live. If they're all getting hop farm, whatever the fuck, Yakima Valley hops, if they're all getting the same hop brand, well, it's going to be the same hop no matter where they came from. So it's a weird thing that I just started talking about, because it's a weird thing. It's just weird. It's weird to me. Because my favorite so far, and I've never had it ever again, was my favorite West Coast style IPA was from Hardywood, I believe. It was from Hardywood. It was called The Great Return. And it was a beer to commemorate the return of the Eastern Sturgeon, I believe it was, to their waters, their local waters. And it was an amazing West Coast style IPA. Before that, I would say Green Flash was my quintessential West Coast style IPA from San Diego, California. I believe it's from that area. So, yeah. Just shows you how shit changes, you know? So, there you go. But anyway, this is Paul from PABrewNews. I've been rambling on nonsensical bullshit for a long time. So this is Paul from PABrewNews, 7.5 out of 10, and I'll see you later. Cheers. Sex and violence. Yay.